Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to our third tutorial of X11 series. In this tutorial we are going to do a paint program, but it will be kind of buggy, and later on we will going to fix it. So these are the default values, and I'm just in a new directory, and I just have a file called paint.c, and I'm just using the same make file. The only difference is the program name, which will be just paint. And these are the default values, so I'm not going to write all of these again and again to be able to reduce the video time. So let's first start by writing our functions. So the first function will be our main window, obviously. So static, it will return a window, and let's call this create win again. So x, y, width, height, and our border. These are pretty much the same. And so a top level declaration of window and set window attributes. So these will be our window attributes. And let's start by defining our window attributes. So actually, if you want, you can define this as a constructor if you want. So background pixel will be, what will it be? So white pixel of our display and screen. And what else are we going to need? So border pixel will be black pixel, display and screen. So let me put myself a little bit higher. And so what else do we have? Let's just check. So our event mask will be actually a little bit confusing, therefore I'm not going to write it here. So actually I think this is it. Let me check it again. Yeah, alright, so this is it. So what will be our event mask? We are going to use some new event properties of X11, and therefore we are going to catch like button 1 motion, button 1 release, etc. So let's try to do it. So our event mask will be button 1 motion mask. And what else do we need to give? So button press mask, obviously, to be able to detect our key presses. And we are going to need button release mask too, because if we just release our button, it needs to stop drawing. And let's just give key press mask to be able to quit our application. So this will be our event mask. And now we need to create our window. So x create window, so display, root window, x, y, width, height, border. So this will be default depth, display screen. What was this? Yes, so this will be input output, of course, and let's just give it the default visual like before. So this will be our value mask. So therefore cv back pixel, cv event mask, and cv border pixel. And we are going to give the reference of our Xwindow attributes. So let me just divide this line from our width mask. Yes, so this is more good, I think, and we are just going to return the window from here. So now we've created our main window. What else do we need to create? So actually we need to create a graphics context. So what is a graphics context? Let's just write it, and after that I am going to explain. You can think of a graphics context as the default values of your drawings, or I don't know, so foreground, background, you can give all of that initial values. Let me just write it down. After that we are going to compare. So GC for graphics context, so let's call this function create GC, and this will just have one parameter, and that will be line width. Let's actually make this line width a little bit thicker, so I'll add that as 4. So GC, and we need to create a struct called xgc values, and let's just call this xgcv. And now this xgv will going to have a lot of parameters. I am not going to explain all of these. If you want, you can just go and check out from documentations, because actually I don't know even the meaning of them, so they can be a little bit of confusing. Just use them. So I don't, let me just actually show you. So xgv dot, for example, line style will be line solid, to be able to make solid lines. So xgv dot line width will obviously our line width, and xgv dot cap style, just check what are these. So I'll just use cap dot. So xgv dot join style will be join meter. So I think this join meter actually joins the lines between like some kind of degree, but I'm not sure, just check it if you want. And what else do we need to give? So we need to give a fill style. This will be fill solid again. We are going to just create solid lines, and I think we are good to go after these ones. So our foreground will be black pixel, I think, display and screen, and our background will be white pixel, I think, display and screen. I'm not sure about these two. Maybe I'll swap it later if we can see any lines in our program. So after we have set all of these, actually we need to create a value mask from all of these. So to be able to create a value mask, actually I think it will be it will be long, therefore I'll just create a new variable. I'll just send these to a function like this CV backpixel and CV event masks, but now we have here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different bit masks, so I'll just separate it from that. So our value mask will be GC foreground, GC background, GC fill style, is it fill rule? No, fill style, GC line style, and GC line width. So what else? GC cap style. Did I miss anything? So GC join style, GC join style, and I think this is it. So this will be our value mask. Now we can create our GC. So our GC will be equals to, there's just a function called xCreateGC, and I'll just give display and our root window as well as our value mask and reference of our xgv start. After that, I'm just going to return our graphics context. Now this is done too. So actually, yes, let's write our main function first. So it will be pretty much similar. So if display, which is open display null. Actually, let's just write it like this instead of assigning it to 0. If it is null, we are just going to throw out an error. So 1 and can't open display. After that, we need to get our default screen of our display, our root window of our display and screen, and now we can create our window. So I'll just have it as a top declaration again. Actually, let's just call this main win for now. So our main win will be equals to create win and pose x, pose y, width, height, and watch. So now we've created our window. What do we need to do now? Actually, we can create our GC in here, I think. But let's write our event loop first. After that, depending on our event loop, we are going to fill out the rest of our main program. So our event loop will look like this actually. So let's just call it static void run, and we need to give our graphics context because it's not global. And we are going to catch X event, so X event ev, and while, actually we can call it like this again, so X next event, display, and event. I'm not assigning it to 0 again because this loop will continue forever until it's 0. Alright, so actually we need some more variables. I'll write them first and after that I'm going to explain. So int previous x let's just assign it to 0, and previous y, let's just assign it to 0, 2. So this previous x and previous y are going to hold the previous locations of our line. So when we create a new line, it will create from our previous position to our current position. Alright, so cool. So we are going to switch our event type again. So switch event.type. And now we are just going to have some cases. So our first case will be button press. And we need to check if it is mouse button 1 or not, because we don't want to draw any lines if mouse button 2 or 3 are pressed. So if our x event dot x button dot button, if it is equals to button 1, we are going to do our operations now. So if this is like this, we are just going to draw a point. So point display, our drawable will be, actually, let's just take it from event 2. So f dot x button dot window to be able to get our current window. So it needs a graphics context, so let's just pass GC as it is. And we need to have positions now. So to be able to get mouse positions, it's actually pretty simple. So f dot x button dot x and event dot x button dot y. So if we did this, we are just going to draw a point now, and we can break from here. Actually, let's just delete the curly brace in if, because it's just one statement. So our next statement will be motion notify. So what is this motion notify? So as you remember, we've just assigned a motion mask here. So button 1 motion mask. So if any motion event occurs, which will be just present from our button 1 motion mask. So if I am holding button 1 and like I am dragging it somewhere in my screen, it will generate a motion notify event. And if that event occurs, we are going to draw a line or draw a point depending on if it is just pressed or not. So how are we going to handle it? Let's just write it. So let's create a new variable here in it, and let's just assign it to 0. So if init, so if init is not 0, we are going to draw a line. So from where to where? From our display. And f dot x button dot window again. We need to give it a graphics context again. So what are these positions? Actually, these are just the previous and the next positions, as I said. So it will be like this. So previous x, previous y, and after that f dot x button dot x for our current position, and f dot x button dot y for our current y position. Yeah, cool. So let's just continue. So now for else condition. So what else? So if init is 0, we are just going to draw a point and initialize our init as 1. So if motion drag continues, we are just going to be in the uppercase, and if not, we are just going to draw a point and initialize init as 1. So x draw point, yes, so display again f dot x button dot x, not x, f dot x button dot window, sorry. And after this graphics context, and so what else? f dot x button dot x again for our position. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm doing that. So f dot x button dot y, and we are going to set our init as 1. And after that, we are not done because we haven't initialized our prev x and prev y. So if any motion event occurs, we are just going to say that our prev x is equals to f dot x button dot x, and our prev y equals to f dot x button dot y. And we are just going to break now. So what else? So as you remember, our event mask had button 1 motion mask, press mask, and release mask. So we need to handle these two now. So what are we going to do on release mask? I think it's obvious. We need to assign init as 0 again. So let's just do it. So case button release. If our button is released, we are just going to set init as 0, and after that we are just going to break. And case key press to be able to exit our application. So if xkv key code to keysim display event.xkey.keycode, I think. So 00 for groups. If this is equals to xk underscore q, we are just going to return. Yeah, so this will be our main event loop. Actually, we've done most of it. So let's continue writing our main program. So we've just created our window. Now we need to map our window to our display. So actually, let's just create our GC first. So GC, and our GC will be equals to create GC with our line. It's just line. Now we have our main window and our graphics context. Now we can map our window. So xmap window, so display, and our main. And after that, we are going to run our event loop. So I'm giving GC as a parameter. And after that, now we need to clean up. So let's just comment. So clean up. What do we need to do? We need to unmap our window first. So unmap window, display, and our main window. And now we need to destroy our window. So display and our main window. So what else do we need to do? Actually, we need to clean up our graphics context too. So it's actually a simple function, x3gc and display and our graphics context. So now at last we can close our display because our program is finished. So I think it's done. Let's just try it. After that we can talk about it. So it's like 114 lines, cool. So we have an error, so let me check the error first. No rule to make target, so I think I didn't change my make file. Yes, so this will be just paint, I think. Yeah, so make, and let's run our program. So nothing is happening right now, but if I just drag my mouse, we can just draw lines, and if I just click, it will just put a simple dot in there. So I think this is looking pretty good. So what is the bug of this? Let me just show you. So this window is actually full screen right now. If I just anyhow just try to resize my screen, it will automatically be gone. So why is this happening? So this is actually called expose event. So if a window has been resized, actually it generates an event which is called expose event. You can think of it as a damaged window. So whenever you are drawing something on your screen in a window, they're not preserved. They're just for one time. Therefore, we need to hide our paint program in some drawable in our RAM. And whenever this expose event occurs, we need to redraw it to our screen. So we are not going to handle it right now. I think it will just take 1 or 2 more videos. But just know the bug and know that we are going to fix it. So I just want to show you something else more. So as you remember, so my position is 500, my Y position is 500, but because I'm using DWM, and I think most of the people watching here are using DWM, so let's think about that. So if I want to make this window just 500 pixels and nothing more, so like, I don't know, like dialog boxes or any floating windows like DWM manages, how can we do it? Actually, we can do it in different ways, and I think I can show you now. So our first issue will be, so if I run this program again, as you can see in my window title it says broken. So why is this happening? Because we didn't set any window title. So actually it's pretty easy to set, so let's just set a window title for now. So it will actually go like this. What was that? So I've just forgot it, so let me just check it for 1 second, please. Xstore, something like that, I think. Xstore. Yeah, so Xstore name, yes, cool. So Xstore name will automatically set our window title, so our display. After that, our main window, and construct pointer, obviously our string. So let's just call this paint program. Now let's try to run it again. So as you can see, now our window title is set to paint program. So if you want to set titles, just you can use xstore name to be able to set your window titles. So as for our problem, I think I won't solve it now, but I just want to show you that how the DWM manages things, and therefore I'm just going to show you a simple piece of DWM source code. So for example, actually let me just show you. Yeah, so cool. So for example, we are on a browser obviously. So for example, I want to upload an image. So as you can see, this is just a floating window and DWM automatically handles it. So why is this happening? Actually there's a hints called window hints, and these window hints actually tells the backend server, so DWM manages this, that I need to be in a fixed size and I want to be in floating mode or something like that, and DWM process this in backwards. So let me just show you actually from DWM source code. So in DWM.c, these are called window hints. So if you just check for hints, let's look at hints. So hint, let's just write it like this. So hints, let's continue. These are not. Yeah, so I think this is it. So update VM hints. Let's just check at these. So update VM hints. So as you can see, this update VM hints had some functions. So xget VM hint. So for example, if it's urgent, DWM sets its flags to urgent, or so if this window is not focusable, DWM set it as not focusable. So we are just doing client applications right now. So if we want DWM to be able to understand this, we need to set our client hints. But this wasn't the thing I want to show you, so I think it's like normal hints or something like that. Yeah, so cool. So update size hints and a client pointer. So as you can see, there are some flags here. So if base size, so let's just forget it. What I want to show you is, where is it? One second please guys. I think maybe I don't have it in this patch, but the thing is, so if that program has a max size and min size in its window manager hints, and if these are both the same, so max width and max height, if they are equal to min width and min height, I think this code handles it actually. So if max width equals to min width, and if max height equals to min height, so this means that if our max width and min width are the same, which we need to include in our client application, DWM sets this as fixed. So if it is fixed, it won't be fit in your tiling window manager, but it will be automatically a floating pop-up window. So actually, let's just try it. I want to show this to you. So this is size hints and xget VM normal hints. So to be able to do this, we need to create a new. So set normal hints. Yeah, so actually let's just do this in a new program, but to just be able to show you a simple thing, it will go like this. So x size hints, so let's just assign this to something. So if you look at x size hints, as you can see here, so width, height, min width, min height, max width, max height, if we just set both of these parameters as same, DWM will handle this correctly, and it will just be a fixed window size. Actually, let's just try it. I am okay with it. So actually, yeah, let's just try it. So x size is x age, and our flex will be equals to, obviously I don't know them for sure. So it actually goes like this. So whenever you have a bit mask, like a long flex here, just check the bottom defines of it. So for min size, we need to use this flag. So max size, we need to use the bottom flag. So it will go like this. So our flags will be p min size and p max size. And after this, actually, let's just create our struct here. So dot min width will be equals to width, and dot min height will be equals to height, and dot max height will be equals to max, not max, height. And so lastly, what are we missing? Dot max width, I think. So this will be equal to our width again. So now we have successfully set our width, min width and min height as same as max height and max width. After that, we have set our flags. So let's just check it again. Let's just be sure that we are not forgetting anything. So I think this will be enough. And let's just try it. After this, we need to set our windows. So x set size, I think. Yes, so display. And our main window. And our xsh. And after that, atom. So what is this atom number? Actually, I don't remember it. So this atom number needs to be, I think, so xa, something like that, but we need to include atom header for that, I think. So x11 slash x atom.h. Yeah, so this x atom holds the atom numbers. So if we are going to create a hint with normal hints, because as we remember here, this is called normal hints, we need to set that atom to our normal hints. So now we need to use this one, xa-vm and normal hints. So let's try it. So where are we? Yes, so xa vm normal hints, I think. Yeah, so I think we are good to go now. I'll just make this, and after that I'll try to run it. So as you can see now, it's a floating window, and it's just the size that we have set. You just check DWM source code a bit and know that all of the client applications need to give hints to our backend server. Therefore, if we handle it correctly, we can write a paid program with any size we want. And as you can see, since we've set this as a fixed width window, DWM doesn't allow us to be able to resize this window. So I think this is good to go. And remember that if we just change even one parameter, so for example, if I just set our min height to +1, I don't think this will work. So let's just try it. And as you can see, it's obviously not working. But I think, yeah. So if you want to be able to do something like that, just go and check DWM source code and just search for hints. And after that, I think you'll probably find what you're looking for. So I think this was a long class, tutorial. So take care guys, see you in the next tutorial, and we are just going to enhance our paint program, as well as we are going to add new colors afterwards, how to allocate colors in heap memory, etc. So this is it guys, thanks for watching. If you want any other tutorials about X11, just write it on the comments and I'll try to make it. So take care guys.